everybody here. Good afternoon. Thanks for everybody's coming. We've got a bigger crowd than expected. Not enough chairs out, but I tend to think that's a good thing. We're here today, joined by our Congressman Robert Aderholt, the Undersecretary of Rural Development from Washington, Ms. Lisa Mensa, and then the State Director of Rural Development, Ronnie Davis. And we've got other dignitaries, Ladd Environmental, that helped us with the project. They're here, of course, the City Council, members of city boards, the Chamber of Commerce, media, and everything. Glad to have everybody here. Probably read in the paper that Rainsville was awarded a rural development loan and grant. This is pertaining to the wastewater treatment plant and the expansion, or not the upgrade there, not more or less upgrade, less expansion, but preparing our wastewater treatment plant for more growth in our industrial development park. We're going to start our program today, and I want you guys to give a warm welcome to our Congressman, Robert Aderholt.
Good to be here, and it's good to be here with a lot of distinguished guests here. Madam Secretary, good to have you here. Here in Rainsville, Alabama, DeKalb County. Director Davis, glad that you're here in North Alabama as well. Of course, the members of the council, I know we have DeKalb County officials that are here, and of course everyone that's here in the county has a special interest in this area. It's a pleasure for us to be with you this afternoon. And it's always good to be in DeKalb County, and especially up here on Sand Mountain. And of course, it's one of the most beautiful places that I have to represent, and so I'm always honored to be up in this part of the 4th Congressional District. But more importantly, it's good to be here this afternoon for this announcement. This announcement by the United States Department of Agriculture. And why that's important to me is because I have the privilege of chairing the subcommittee on appropriation that funds the Department of Agriculture. And this is a department that I work very closely with, and the subcommittee that I have the privilege of chairing in Washington, D.C. We work very, very close, hand in hand with USDA, and especially with rural development. And so it's an extra special occasion for me. No question that this loan to the city of Rainsville to receive this USDA grant and loan will play a large role in the future of the Rainsville and the whole entire area, not only for its growth, but also for its development. And these loans and grants that we see that we're talking about today are always the best kind. They allow the local communities to decide what's best. They allow them to decide where their needs can be met the easiest, and it spurs economic growth, and ultimately the end result is more jobs. And of course, that is ultimately a goal for all of us, to making sure that the men and women who live and work in this area, that they have jobs and also security in those jobs and well-paid jobs. Rainsville is sort of known as the crossroads of Sand Mountain. Its geographical location and the hardworking people here make it the kind of area that's poised for great growth in the future. The wastewater treatment plant improvements are a sign that you're thinking about the future, and you're not just content with the way that things are in the current status. So congratulations, Mayor, and with all your team and the council as y'all work toward doing that. Look forward to working with USDA as we look at more projects like this. And again, it's a real honor to have the Undersecretary with us today from Washington, D.C., and having a chance for her to be here personally to talk about this grant that's coming up, and also with Director Davis, and have his presence here in North Alabama as well. So let me say with that, it's a great honor for me to represent the 4th Congressional District, and certainly to represent DeKalb County and Rainsville in Washington, D.C., and have an opportunity to represent you on those issues and work for you and try to make sure that we try to do what's best for not only our state, but also for our region of the state. So thank you for letting me be here. I look forward to working with you on future grants. And at this time, I'll turn it over to Ronnie Davis. Thank you.
I always look forward to the opportunity coming to North Alabama and spending time with you good folks. It's one of the things that we enjoy most about what I do is dealing with rural communities and rural small town people. in small communities. I tell everybody I graduated from a small school. I was in the top 28% of my class. Some days I was number 28, some days I was number 1. It's just what day it was. But there was only 28 of us. So. But we were a small family group of people, and we enjoyed life, and a lot of us have gone on to do some really good things in this world. And I've been very fortunate to be blessed with this opportunity to work in the state of Alabama. Congressman, we live in a great state. Lisa, we love 3 things here we take very close to heart, and that's our children, our grandchildren, and our football. So you can be nice about either team, because you never know who you're talking to here. Somebody back there is a big Alabama fan, though. I don't know who, and I have a high regard for him. Lisa Menson comes to us as our Undersecretary for Rural Development. She's been with us since November of 2014. She was appointed by President Obama to serve rural development and confirmed by the Senate. And we have thoroughly enjoyed working with her. She brings a whole new breath of life to us. And I'd have to say she does an outstanding job of herding cats. She's got 47 state directors across the country to have to deal with. Every one of them got a different issue, and including me. But she does a great job of bringing us all together. And she's an expert in using financial tools to improve economic security for the working poor. Ms. Mensa has experienced it in private sector, financial sector, as she has worked extensively with small and micro business developing and housing and financial saving policies. And then, it's good to, and we were excited about this when she came on, to know that we had somebody who came to us with something other than a political issue, political agenda. Somebody had heart and was looking out for the best interests of rural communities, and we're proud of that. Prior to joining the USDA, she was the founding executive director of the Initiative on Financial Security at Aspen Institute. In that role, she led a national bipartisan effort with leaders of financial institutions, nonprofit executives, and experts to promote solutions to complex problems for helping more Americans save money, buy homes, and become financially secure. Ms. Mensa began her career in commercial banking at Citibank before joining the Ford Foundation, where she was responsible for the country's largest philanthropic grant and loan portfolio of investments for rural America. Born and raised in Oregon, she is the daughter of an immigrant from Ghana and of a former Iowa farm girl, so she's got roots in rural community. She resides in Maryland with her husband and her 2 children. We're just proud to have you here today. Thank you for coming. As Congressman can tell you, we've done a lot of good things in this part of the state. We're standing in one of them right here. I occasionally have opportunities for people to come talk to me about building an agplex. I said, well, go to Rainsville, start there and work your way down. Can't afford that one. Cut it up pieces till you get one you can afford. So, but we do appreciate the funding, Congressman, that you helped bring to us, and we try to bring back to this state in order to better the lives of rural community people. And Lisa, we appreciate you coming to share this moment with us, so I'll turn it over to you.
Wow, that's a beautiful introduction, a little long, but thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Mayor Jones, and to your city council members, many of whom I had the pleasure to meet. Thank you for a big welcome. I've already eaten catfish, I plan to eat some more, and I am thrilled to be back in Alabama. This was the first state I chose to come to when I was appointed to this position. And my second, I didn't get to go to the north the last time, so I'm really glad to be here. I am really thankful for the Northeast Alabama Agribusiness Center, to the board that I just met, for allowing us to be here at this beautiful complex. And I'm so impressed. This is what it means. I see a lot of numbers. I'm sure the Congressman knows. Reams of budgets. And this is the real thing. You get to see the faces, the people that worked for a whole decade to bring a center like this. So I appreciate this. I also want to thank our rural development staff. A lot of times government federal employees don't get a lot of praise, and I want to praise, I'm very proud of my team. Ronnie Davis is a tremendous state director. I want to say shout out to Andrew Wackerly. Andy, would you raise your hand? Our area director, Kent Crumley, our area specialist, Lupe Kirby, also our area specialist. Lupe, you're there, and Beverly Hilton, who's wonderfully behind the counter. These are just a terrific team. We are a very interesting agency of the federal government. We live and work in the communities in which we serve. So the team that I just introduced, they're here with you in Alabama. They're not just DC people like I am. They're positioned to help, and they're positioned here with their minds and their hearts so that we can make good decisions. As Congressman Aderholt mentioned, we're here today to really celebrate a really important level of funding. This is important funding. Our announcement is to announce $1.9 million loan for this water and waste disposal, for the improvements to this, and a grant of $830,000. That's a very big deal for us. On the $1.9 million loan, it's an interest rate of 2.5%, which is fixed for 30 years. So if there are any bankers in the room with me, that's an affordable interest rate. When you get 30-year money for 2.5% fixed, that's good. And that's really why this is such an important portfolio. And it's a portfolio that your congressman has much responsibility for. So we are very proud of this work. This kind of funding is so much a part of the tradition of stewardship and investment. Our USDA staff researched some of the prior funding that's happened here in the city of Rainsville. And they shared with me that we provided some or all of the initial funding for the development of the sewer system here in Rainsville, dating back to 1978. And we also made more loans and investments in 2002. So if you put it all together, there's been about $4 million in grant funds and over $3.5 million in low-interest loans made right here in your city. It means that your city leaders have really been working hard with you as citizens to bring together these kind of impressive loans and grants facilities. Now, I often like to ask, is there anybody under 30 here in this room? So if you are, Ronnie, you don't count. Good. Because I like to say, when you're making a 30-year investment, you all who are under 30, you're the ones who are going to be around to see this thing flourish. You'll be the taxpayers that help repay that. You're the future. And so this is a very long-term investment. Whenever we're in infrastructure, like water and sewer upgrades, there's such a key factor. The mayor said it earlier. This is how places grow. And I'm so proud that this is our portfolio. Let me say a little more about the whole country which rural development serves. And I don't just have to chase after 47 state directors. I get to go out and see what's happening in other countries, other states. Just this last week, we released our progress report, and that shows what we do as an agency. We have about $30 billion in investments that we make each year in communities like this very one. We can only work in rural areas. And this funding supported over 170,000 projects throughout rural America. So that could mean thousands of rural businesses, more than 141,000 homes, a record level 1.8 billion of community facilities like this one. This is what our money does throughout the country. And it's the reason we're here today, because this kind of investment in our water and sewer systems, that's what rural America needs to thrive. And I'm very proud that we're still in this business. Closer to home, I wanted to mention a few other projects that we've been involved in the area. Single-family housing here in Rainsville and throughout DeKalb County. This is an important line of work for us. The Farmers Telecommunications Cooperative has used USDA funds to develop broadband and communications infrastructure for residential and commercial customers here in DeKalb and surrounding counties. The Sand Mountain Electric Cooperative has provided electric service and has used USDA funds to assist local towns. And local poultry farmers are using energy grants to install solar panels to help improve energy efficiencies for their agribusiness operations. And telemedicine services throughout DeKalb County partly funded by USDA. So I'm very proud of the difference that rural development makes in the lives of its residents. I like to say that sometimes government works, but it's only when we have the right partners. And that's what we're really celebrating here today. I'm very thankful to Congressman